What is up, guys? Sir Amanon here. Today I'm just bringing to you guys a deck profile, a live deck profile that I recorded yesterday at my locals with some of my buddies. I played Burning Abyss in SPYRAL format, but yeah. Speaking of SPYRAL though, the E-ban hit today, so that was interesting. So I guess the landscape will change a little bit. I personally think SPYRALs will still be one of the top decks of the format. Just not as oppressively dominant. The thing is with tier 0 decks is that like in order to like even bring them down a peg, you have to make big monumental hits. And even with these big monumental hits, they still have a lot of power to play with, for example, the double helix master plan combos and like all their searchability. So I think Spirals will still be good, just that other decks will be good as well. And I played Burning Abyss just because I wanted to have a good old time. So yeah, I'll bring you guys to the deck profile. Enjoy, guys. I'm here at Locals, where I just got second place. Well, technically second. Playing Burning Abyss in 2017. So I'll just get right into the profile here. So for the standard BAs, we played one Graph, one Seer, 3 Farfa, and 3 Skarm. This is all really standard. And for the BA list that top 8 at YCS London today, I'm going to be taking notes and updating this deck for next week, so stay tuned for that. For the other BAs, 2 Alec, 2 Libic, 1 Barbar, 1 Kagna, 1 Calcap, and 1 Rubik. The reason I run double Alec is because he's kind of like like a 4th and 5th copy of Farfa, in that like he allows you to play on your opponent's turn, and he synergizes really well with Beatrice. So what you can do basically is like against SPYRAL, for instance, if they summon the double helix, like you can just chain Beatrice and then send Alec, so they can't really get the double helix effect. It's just generally a good card, I feel. It does target, which sucks with like Resort and stuff, but I think it's worth playing. 2 Libic is pretty good, I think, just because it's kind of an extender. It's like an engine piece. I probably cut it to 1 because I had Mathematician in the deck, but I ended up cutting it since it was kind of too many normal summons in my opinion. But I think he's still a very good just name in general. Barbar was MVP today. I burned for game like twice, and he's actually pretty beefy. Like 1700 is quite a lot of damage. Kagna is literally just a name because until like the Link monster comes out, I don't feel like Good and Evil and like Firelink are that good. But he's good just to have a name. Plus he's also kind of big for BA, I guess. Calcap is just generally good for spinning back row, but you can also spin your own back row so you can just summon more BAs. And then Rubik is pretty standard. Alright, for the engine pieces, played 1 Tour Guide, that's standard. 3 Rhino is also standard. 2 Orbital Hydrolander is something that some people have been doing more often. I feel like he's really good because with your Dante, you don't always have to mill 3 anymore, like first turn. Like you can just kind of like select your milling and be more controlled with it. So like you can detach your Rhino Warrior, send like a Graph or something, summon Seer, and then like if you have this, like it makes it so that like you can extend with it. It's also really good because it doesn't target and it's just a big body. It's like a better Trident. And then 1 Snow, so that like if you need to fix your graveyard before resolution here with the Hydrolander, you can fix it with Snow. Plus Snow is also broken. Right. And for the going second cards, is what I call them, I played Maxi and 3 Ghost Tiger for the hand traps. I don't have any of the good hand traps, so this is all I'm playing. But Ghost Tiger is really good in my opinion because you can just kill the double helix and it forces them to add back to hand. It's also just a generally good card because it's a level 3. So that sometimes comes up, but not too often. And then for Kaijus, I played 1 Gamseel and 2 Radiant. Radiant's good because he's an Allure target, but in the future, I actually would probably just play a standard Kaiju package and cut Allure entirely, because what I found a lot of the time with Allure, which I guess I'll put here now, is it's actually not very good, since you're not playing the PK engine at least. So like there's not a lot of BA names that you really want to banish, and a lot of the time you're kind of just like, well, if I like have something to banish, I guess it's fine, but like there's not a whole lot of times where you kind of want to like resolve this. I'd say if anything, like maybe Desires, but Desires and 40 cards is also kind of questionable, so I'll play around with it, but I actually would probably cut Allure, funnily enough. Played one Foolish, which is pretty standard, and then for board wipes I played Regeki, Dark Hole, and Slumber. I think board wipes are very necessary right now, at least like this week, just because like they're really good just going second after breaking boards. There was one round actually against Spiral where I opened Regeki both games, which is hilarious. But board wipes, yeah, shout out to Camilo who's recording. He was the guy who lost to this man twice. You can send it off Beatrice like during their opponent's turn if you need to search a kaiju. I actually did that once today, so that's pretty cool. For the traps, I played 2 Fire Lake, 2 Dynamiscus, 1 Breakthrough Skill, and then for the counter traps I played Warning and 3 Horn of Heaven. Horn of Heaven was amazing because a lot of the times you kind of just have like residual monsters where like you won't be really using them, but it makes Horn of Heaven like live all the time, so it's good for like stopping the double helix, like if they're playing basically anything. It's like another Warning. I already mentioned Fire Lake I don't feel is very good right now. Like it came up a lot in testing where I would have a Dante plus another monster like a Seer or something because I would like pitch Graph or something, but it's just not good to top deck into, and I feel like if the Link monster comes out, it'll be good to search with like Good and Evil with like Cagna and everything, but I wouldn't play it right now. Dynamiscus,
Now I can't tell you.
I feel is pretty good because like you could just kind of banish problem monsters, and Breakthrough Skill is good just because you can mill it and it won't be like that bad. I'd probably cut down on traps if anything, because this is a 46 card main deck, so I kind of want to not break as much with traps in the future, but I feel like this is pretty good. For the extra, 3 Dante, the only monster you ever summon. Never made him. Made him a couple times, he was pretty good. Never made him. Barbar is better than this guy. He's good just to have a big beat stick on board if you need it, but I never made him. Never made her. Made him once, but I couldn't grind against. Funnily enough, it was the the Odd Eyes deck that I couldn't out because Vortex, Lancer Dragon, and the Arc Pendulum Scale is apparently too big of a board to break for BA. And Beatrice, of course. Make every game. Virgil I made once. Spinning is good, I guess. Purple Dante is the best monster in the deck. He's really good in the grind game. He's always been good. And then last, 1 Deco Talker, just because sometimes you can link away your BAs to get their effects off if you want to, but he's also just like generic, you know, protection against targeting, which is also nice. Oh, and Penguin Token. For the side deck, I played 2 copies of Vanity's Fiend. I never got to summon it, but in theory it's really good because you just special a BA and summon him and it kind of locks him out. It's really good against pretty much all the meta today. I played 2 copies of Lancia just because I feared Invoked. That's pretty much it. I'll save that for the end. 3 copies of Twin Twisters. I probably should be maining these, to be honest, because like it's good for handling like problem cards, and a lot of decks play like some back row. It's good for like stopping the utility wire like before it can go off, so I think it's pretty good. I played 3 copies of Anti-Spell Fragrance for Pendulums because there's Magician still and the Odd Eyes deck running around, so I think that was pretty good. The only thing about this card actually is that it stops you from summoning more BAs, which did come up where I was like flooded out in a sense, but I still would probably play it. And then for Solemns, we played 3 Strikes and 1 Scolding. I never actually sided in the Scolding. I don't think it's actually that good. Like, the life point cost is actually really steep, and you tend to fall behind in the early game because you can't make double Dante anymore and, like, grind really early. Like, you have to kind of, like, try and control your milling with, like, getting Seer and stuff. But, like, Scolding doesn't really get you there. Strike does, though. I resolved it, I think, once today. And then the Spice card that I wish I played more of, if I could find more of it, is Lightning Vortex. Now, the reasoning behind this card here is you can pitch basically any of your BAs, like Graph, Seer, or even like Skarm or Farfa. Well, Farfa wouldn't be as good because it's Lightning Vortex, but like it's another copy of like Regeki. And it's just really good going second. It helps you like out the Spiral matchup. It probably won't be as good in the coming weeks once Trigate Wizard comes out because Trigate just stops everything. And that's where Kaijus will become more important. I might like, you know, make my Kaiju package a little bit bigger, like adding maybe like Godarla or something, but this came up like once today, but it was very good. I was able to kaiju a last resort monster and then just break the board. So yeah, that'll be it for the deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed. I feel like BA has the potential to be really good, especially once the Link monster comes out, but it's not a deck to be slept on even right now because it still grinds. If it can open well, it can contend really well just as long as you like have resources. And I think that if you are able to get the hand traps like Rowan Lockbird and Ash Blossom, it's definitely worth playing them. And yeah, I think it's just a really fun deck. So thanks for watching, guys.